episode 209.
I didn't write it down. I'm looking at your piece of paper. I'm like, I don't know what episode it is.
I didn't write it down. 209. There it is.
I'm Sheila, also known as Sheila D37.
And I'm Wendy, also known as Penny Wendy. Welcome to the show if this is your first time. And if you're a return viewer. A return viewer. Welcome back.
I'm tired today. I'm sorry, people. I don't know if it's allergies or a cold, so
Sheila
please bear with me.
She has some kind of ailment.
Something brewing.
You have an ailment.
Well, it could be that, I'm working myself half death, but...
It could be that. It could be the allergies. It could be a combo. Could
be everything. Who knows?
So,
shout-outs. We are still doing our May knit-along, which is green, any shades of green, and needs to be a good... Use your best judgment, but it needs to be a good quantity of green in
more
the
than just like a teeny bit.
So that will go through the end of May. I'll probably pull a winner sometime in the beginning of June.
First episode that we record in June, we will draw for a winner. We're also still running a contest to win a Knitting's My bag and a yarn chosen by Lois of Knitting's My Bag to coordinate. And that's posted in the group. That we will draw for next week. So,
and we're drawing today for the Knit Edge magazine.
Yes. So if you were a participant in that thread, you will be announced a winner. The winner. I can't even talk. What the heck? Okay.
It's Friday.
I know. This is not our normal day. Everything's all crazy. We will announce a winner at the end of the show. And I also want to give you a heads up. I told you last week I had some exciting information about Fiber Revival in Newport, Massachusetts, that is run by people from my guild. And there is a guest teacher coming this year for the first time, and it's pretty exciting. And I will give you all the details about that in Gossip and Innuendo, as well as information on how you can sign up for classes. I'm going to keep it a surprise, but it's a famous spinner. So if you're into spinning, check in Gossip and Innuendo. So I think that's it for shout-outs. Yes? Do we have anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Don't forget the Knit in Public Day that we talked about. June 13th, I think it is. I will put when it is underneath the thing. I'll run it under. Don't bother to look it up. I'll run it under.
Actually wasn't.
And it's also posted on the show notes. And don't forget to check out KnitClicks, the new website, KNITCLIKS, KnitClicks.
Oh, yes.
Run by Carolyn Noyes and another designer. It's kind of like the BuzzFeed of
what's
knitting.
Going on in the knitting world.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So if you haven't already checked it out and you're a new viewer, check it out. It's a cool website. I will run the KnitClicks website under here as well.
Sounds good.
All right, on the dance card.
So a revelation came to me this week. Because I'm working 40 hours, sometimes more, my mental aptitude is not there.
Yeah.
So right now I only have socks on the needle. And in the foreseeable future, that's all I'm going to have. Not that I'm taking my shawls off the needles. Right. If I work on them, I'll bring them into show. But expect socks from me. I apologize. If you're not interested in that, then, look to her for other stuff. But right now, that's about where, like I said, my mental aptitude is. And especially, I've been doing a lot of offsites.
Yeah.
And socks are portable. And if it's slow, the offsites, I knit.
Yeah.
So that worked out. So what I have on the needles is I have a sock blank that Wendy and it's a Knit Picks sock blank, and I wish I had one to show you. Knit Picks does their sock blanks 2 strands at a time so that you can do 2 socks at a time.
Right.
I'm not a big fan of that because I like to have many projects. So Wendy and I separated this sock blank one while ago.
We each took one strand and started balling it up.
So this is what it looks like, and it's kind of nice because we did this a while ago.
And
I don't have a picture of the sock blank. I even went back to the website, not the website, the threads, to see if there was pictures, and there wasn't. So I didn't know I don't know what's on the
It's like
inside
a
of this.
surprise.
It is. It's like a surprise. So this is Knit Picks sock yarn in a blank form. I cast on 72 stitches, and I'm doing 1 repeat of the Jaywalker. There we go.
Try holding it up like there.
No, but I'm just trying. No, it's, you can see it here, but you just can't see the pattern. So I'm just doing 1 repeat.
So one
chevron. I'm doing it on US 1.5. I just switched needles because Wendy was nice enough to get me some cubics.
Yeah.
So I switched them onto my cubic US 1.5 Knitter's Pride. I really love the colors on this. It doesn't smell like Kool-Aid anymore. If I was to do this different, the smallest size on Jaywalkers, the thing about Jaywalkers, when it's a full chevrons, there's no stretch to it. So the smallest size on Jaywalkers is 76.
Yeah.
I think if I was to do it again, depending on my yarn, like Blue Moon, maybe not, because it's thicker than my medium. But on lightweight, probably I would do 76 and then do the 1 repeat. But I like it. It's going by really quick. So last night my son had a strings concert, about an hour and a half, and I did all this in an hour and a half.
Cool.
Amongst clapping and other videotaping. So this is all I have on the needles. Currently active. And I may cast on another sock just to change them up. That's where I am right now. I'm just,
well.
At least I'm knitting, but I'm just knitting socks. I apologize. I did try and cast on a hat, but that.
Well, as you can see, I have pulled out Hate-ofude.
Good for you.
And I am putting a needle in it.
Good. Get her done.
And my plan is to make myself do like 1 repeat a day.
And how long would it take you to do 1 repeat?
16 rows, I don't know, 8, 16, I don't know. I think 1 repeat a day is about how fast I can go. I need to do like 7 or 8 repeats, so it will take me a week. So now that I'm getting this on the needle, hopefully it'll be finished up. But everybody's been finishing theirs, and it looks so nice, and I need to get this done, and I can't put it off anymore. So here is Hate-ofude in Enchanted Knoll Farm in the Margaritaville colorway.
I love the color.
It's really beautiful. And you know what? I put the darkest skein on the bottom. You can see it now. You can't notice it. It's not as noticeable in this light, but you can really notice it when I hold it up. But the one next skein is even darker, so it's going to be like a gradient.
Oh, nice.
It's going to be kind of pretty. Yeah, I purposely did it that way. So that's the one thing. That's an oldie but a goodie, but I am trying to get that. The second thing I have on the needles, barely on the needles, is my second Leyburn sock, which is by the designer Minty Fresh.
Oh, yeah. It would be nice to say who Jaywalker is from.
Who did Jaywalker? Kate Gilbert? Grumparina.
I'll mention it on my piece.
So here is the toe of Leyburn. I showed it to you last week, the first sock in progress, and I had to make some modifications to it, so I just want to talk about it. This is Socks that Rock medium weight in the colorway. It's a collection, not an obsession. It's really pretty.
It is very pretty.
But medium weight is almost like a sport weight. So I always use US 2.5 needles to knit socks. That's my go-to size. That usually gives me close to whatever gauge that I want. So I went ahead and cast on my usual 64 stitches, and I knit probably 4 inches of the 3 or 4 inches, maybe 3 inches, the toe and some of the pattern, because I thought the pattern will draw it in a bit. It was so big on my foot that it would have been, it was just too wide.
Comical.
Yeah, it was way too wide. So after a little finagling, I determined that I could do a pattern across 27 stitches, and it would leave me with 1 extra stitch on either side, which meant that when I got up to the leg, I was going to have a 2-stitch gap on either side. And I decided at that point I wasn't going to do it on the leg because I didn't want that gap in the side. But the resulting 54 stitches fits perfectly. So I had to go down 10 stitches to get it right. And it was the way that the Leyburn pattern works. You have to have an odd number of stitches, and it has to be a multiple of 6. Is that right? Yeah. And then there were very few options. 27 really? Stitches on either end was like the best option I could get, and that's with 2 extra stitches that are not involved in the pattern. So 25 stitches would have been my best option, but 50 stitches was going to be way too small. Just, like I worked it out on graph paper, and I was like, all right, these are my options. So I cast on the toe, and I'll show you in Rate Your Date the other sock that I have. But this knit up really fast because it's like almost a sport weight. So that's a fun project.
That's good.
So that's that.
Is that all your
I have one more. I forgot to write down your Jaywalker.
Jaywalker. I want to say it's Grumparina.
It is Grumparina. It's on. I have it on the show notes, and I kind of remember that. And Leyburn. And the last thing I have is my Trillian shawl from my hand-spun bag.
Oh, that's right.
I did a little bit more on it. You can see I'm in the middle of a row.
like the orange.
I know, the orange is really pretty. But I have a sadness. I'm very close to the point in time when I need to start working on the edging.
So how much are you supposed to have left?
7%. So... this is not 7%. This is much more than 7%. But at some point, it will be 7%. Not that I know this, because my food scale died, and I can't weigh.
What happened to your food scale? Was it battery, or is it?
No, I mean, the batteries work fine. Somebody, my husband, spilled something sticky into the screen where you press all the buttons, because it's a digital scale, and... You can only get it to weigh anything by holding the on button on all the time and then pounding repeatedly the ounce and gram button. I need to know grams because ounces ain't going to help me. Jim managed to find out that I have 53 grams left, which is significantly more than 7%. But I think probably somewhere in the yellow I need to start working the edging. So I am afraid to go too much further on this because I don't want to end up having to play yarn chicken and then rip it back. But I only have orange, yellow, and turquoise left. Green, turquoise green, whatever that is. I think it's more of a green. So I'm kind of excited. I like the way it goes back to the green at the end.
Yeah.
So it'll kind of match up.
I was just going to say it will kind of...
because that'll be along this
complete
edge.
Circle.
But I have to buy a scale this weekend. I was going to just order one on Amazon, and my husband flipped his lid because he needs to research that, and I was like, whatever.
Research a scale?
What's actually going to happen? This is my husband. He doesn't want to ever purchase anything unless he researches it for weeks and weeks.
So that
and
it never
agitates.
actually gets done?
So what I do is I'm just going to go to Bed Bath & Beyond, and I'm going to buy one because I need a new mattress pad. So that's the third thing I have on the dance card, and that's it for active projects that I'm showing.
Alrighty. Rate your date.
Rate your date.
I have a project half done, a PhD. So I actually did one sock. So I keep hearing that. I'm like, what is that?
I'm trying not to let it roll. Sorry.
So this is my sock, half done.
Love it.
I do too. I'm actually gonna...
I really like how it came out. It's pretty.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad. I don't have the leftovers. They're at my house. But it matches up really well on how... Which should. Because it was from a sock blank. But like I said, I didn't know what the end was going to be. And I have a walnut size, maybe like this big. Because it's over 400 yards. And so I really like this. I was kind of disappointed that there wasn't much red here. But it works out really well.
Yeah.
The chevron pattern is really good for it too.
Yeah, it really makes that noticeable.
Yeah. And the pops of red. This was dyed with Kool-Aid. It was given to me from a swap partner when I did a lot more swaps than I do. It was a sock blank swap.
Sheila used to be a swap fanatic.
Not really, just on the sock blanks and on monsters.
You used to do monsters, but you used to always, and you did dishcloths one time, I think.
No, it was a monster, but I made dishcloths.
Oh, okay.
It was a pink, like I picked a color, it was a theme, because she had all boys, so I was giving her something pink.
Oh.
I made a pink monster to go with it, too.
Well, I like the way that's coming out.
I do, too, and I'm glad that it should relatively come out the same, give or take, depending on, where I started, but it's soft. I mean, it's nitpicks.
It's a workhorse yarn.
Yeah. So.
It feels like my Kool-Aid socks, because remember, I made that on Knitpicks Bear, which is basically the same thing. And you know how you said it doesn't smell like Kool-Aid? Yeah. Cool story, bro. So, remember I recently did socks out of that Kool-Aid yarn? And it doesn't smell like Kool-Aid anymore. I tasted it, doesn't taste like Kool-Aid. But I was at a friend's house, and the dog would not stop licking them because I guess they still taste like Kool-Aid. But when I licked it, I didn't taste anything.
I remember that.
But their noses probably smell better than mine. So
what I was happy about is I did this cuff down, and I did the heel gusset. The reason I did that is because with this pulling in, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to be too tight. So when I do my heel gussets, I tend to make a longer heel flap. But for some reason, I don't know, it looks like a short gusset here. Yeah. I didn't decrease. I was hoping to, I thought to myself, let's make the foot a little bigger and decrease it till 76. Well, no, I decreased it till 80 and continued. I'm like, this foot looks really big.
Oh, that's why it looks weird on
The foot's a little bit big, and obviously one side draws in compared to the other, but I'm like, you know what? I don't care. It's a foot. It's a sock.
It's a sock. It'll be fine.
It fit fine. It looks good.
And I just love those colors
But together. The one thing I was really proud of, if anyone's done cuff down, it's hard to pick up the gussets evenly. Right. I mean, I picked up 22 stitches on each side, but you can't see it, and you may not be able to. But the gusset stitches, they match, like, exactly.
Cool.
And that's never happened. See how they kind of match?
Oh, yeah. Good job.
I know. I'm really proud of myself. I've only been doing socks for how long now?
Another reason why I hate cuff down socks. Picking up for the gusset.
I don't mind it, because now I know how to do it right. But
I can do it right. I just don't like doing it.
It takes a little bit longer.
There's nothing that I like about cuff down. I like knitting the cuff and the leg. But anything below that, it just sucks.
I like it.
I know you do.
I do. Every now and again.
To each his own, right? All the different people make up. That's what makes the world interesting. Right. So, I love it. I love it.
I love the colors of it. I'm very happy with it. I have one more sock blank. I don't know what I'm going to do with. I do have to finish my other sock. Remember how I'm knitting one with both strands? Right. That's coming out really nice, too. Cool. I have to cast on that other sock. But I have one more sock blank that I don't know what I'm going to do.
Make socks out of it.
I know, but I don't know if I want to strip it apart and do single socks or do another doubled one to make it a thicker sock. Like I'm doing with the other. So I don't know. We'll see. I could use the leftovers with this because that's what I'm doing with my other one. It's only 200 yards, so that's not enough for 2 pairs of socks. So I doubled up, I think, my son's Kool-Aid socks that he did. Yeah. And those I'm doing at the cuff. It's working out well. Cool. I'm all about the scraps and getting rid of some yarn.
Yep, I hear you. So I have a PhD as well. Here is my finished Leyburn sock. And as you can see, I started doing the patterning on the leg. And then I was like, I'm tired of doing it on the leg. It's not really, this is an easy pattern to do.
But sometimes you want mindless.
But I was like, I just want to finish it. So I found a way. I just stopped doing the pattern one diamond over on each row, and I made this nice little like peak. I think it looks kind of pretty on the leg. And then I knit the leg as I usually do. same length as the toe. And that's my standard sock. I used 3x3 ribbing on this because I had 27 stitches on each side, and 3 goes into 27 easily. So I was like, all right, I'll do that. And it's on 54 stitches total, which is 10 stitches smaller than my usual thing. But I like the way it came out. I like the way this yarn knit up. It's got a lot of gray in it, but I love that pop of navy and aqua. I think it's so pretty. And I love how the slip stitches look on the front.
I do too. The way
they really like stand out. I think it's interesting. This is one of my favorite slip stitch patterns to do. It reminds me of a Fabergé egg. I think they're really pretty.
It's pretty.
But yeah, so that's my PhD. Now I gotta put it back on the blocker. I like to just store it on the blocker until I'm done.
I was storing this one on the blocker just to. I might have knit this a little short. I don't know. I can never tell lately. I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
I don't know.
You know what it is?
It's starting to worry me. It looks huge to me. Well, the foot looks really wide.
Well, the foot is definitely wide. I thought when
it looks big to me.
I don't know. We'll see.
It'll be fine. So
it sucks.
Whirlwind Romance.
I just gotta make sure this is the same.
Oh yeah. That's what I like about this one. It's really easy to count how many rows of diamonds you did to the heel, so I know that these will be the same length. Normally, I just guesstimate because I don't like to like count rows or like pay too much attention.
See, I'm on the other hand.
I know you
count
are,
rows.
but this one I'll know exactly because.
Well, see, I figured I'd count the stitches here. It will be easier than counting rows.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Do so many down.
So. This is polwarth silk dyed in the Death to Ovarian Cancer colorway by CJ Kopec, who I understand is no longer selling.
Yes.
We got this a couple years ago. I bought a braid and CJ Kopec gave one to Sheila because Sheila's mother died from ovarian cancer and it was a fundraising effort. And I spun Sheila's and she made a cowl out of it. So I split this braid in half. This is a whole bobbin of 2 ounces. And I have about an ounce of this spun. So like some vegetable matter. There's a lot of vegetable matter in this. It comes off easily when you spin it. But I used to hate spinning polwarth silk when I did Sheila's cowl, but I think it was just that particular braid. I think I mentioned that last week because this one I am not having any problem spinning. It spins like a dream. And it's just going to be a 2-ply. I reversed the order of the colors so that it'll barb a pole a lot more, and I'm just spinning it. I'm not really I'm not really being very there's a slub. I'm not being very like careful about it. I'm just spinning it. Yeah. Sometimes I just like to spin without thinking. So this is like my default weight. So we'll see. I think it's probably going to end up being a heavy fingering or a sport based on how puffy this stuff is and how I finish it. And the fact that I spun it long draw, it puffs up a lot. So anyway, that's my Whirlwind Romance. Next on the wheel when I finish this is going to be my Abby Francomont bat because I think that's 60 grams. That's a quick project, and I'm going to spin that one for fingering weight, I think. So that's it for Whirlwind Romance.
Future dates. So my future dates, like I said, are going to be socks, and more socks. I counted my socks. I think I have like 25 pairs or more. You can never have enough. I'm sorry. You just can never have enough. I figured I'll knit them until I can't. And, that way when I finally can't knit anymore, I'll have enough. Anyways, I think I'm after this, I'm either going to cast on for a worsted weight because it's all skeined up. I'm lazy like that. And worsted weight will go quick. then I got to do that. It's a collection, not an obsession or whatever it's called. Blue Moon. And I have to, at some point, start and finish that second sock.
Yeah.
But it's just socks because it's mindless.
So my future date is I have to work on Hate-ofude, which, as you can see, I am putting back on the needles.
I tell you, half the battle is putting it on the needles.
Well, it's just, I kept meaning to do it, and when we were sitting here and I have like that little bit of a toe on a sock, I thought, this is the perfect time for me to just start picking this up and putting it on. And that way, the next time I want to knit something, it's on the needles, and I just have to start knitting a repeat.
Right.
So, Hate-ofude will be my project. I need to finish up my Leyburn socks and finish up my shawl. And then I might cast on one of the Yowza Way It shawls with the yarn that I got from Ms. Babs at Maryland Sheep and Wool. I might do that. I also have to knit 2 baby sweaters, so I got to do those too.
Why too?
Well, I definitely have to knit 1. I might knit 2. So I'm torn. And I definitely need to do baby hat and booties as well. So that needs to get done. Those are all on my future dates. So Baubles and Bling.
The only Baubles and Bling I have is Wendy did me a favor. She went to Webb's last week, and I asked her to get me some more needles because I went to our place that gets Carrie's Knitters Pride. I can never remember. And they didn't have what I was looking for. So I had her get me a couple more sets of the cubics from Knitter's Pride, the Nova cubics. It's the square needles. I find that I really like these. The joins sometimes stick, but not as bad as the carbons that I was having with. So I like these a lot. So I had her get me a 1.5, which is I switched over. I was using Knit Picks, and I switched over to my Knitter's Pride. And I had her get me 2.5 because I was trying to increase my needle size to help my thumb a little bit, and it seems to be working.
Tight, yeah.
So I think my Blue Moon medium weight might be going on 2.5, which is like unheard of for me.
Yeah.
So I did this, and I also got a pair of size US2 carbons double points. I started knitting with double points. I had no problem with it, but once you go magic loop, really, you don't go back. But I really like the carbons, so I'm going to try every now and again.
See how they work.
Yeah.
My only dislike of double points is one of them always shoots out of my project.
These I think won't because it's a bit of a grip.
It's grippy, yeah. I used to just hate that.
Yeah, no, I know. And it's just so much easier to have this because I can like fling this around. It's not going anywhere. But it's kind of, I just figured I'd try it out again. So that's my only Baubles and Blings. Thank you.
Well, we have a Baubles and Bling that we both have.
Oh, I forgot about that.
We were given a pattern by Sock Bunny, who is Kimberly Pacini. I only know her by Sock Bunny. I think when I met her, I called her Sock Bunny.
Probably.
It is called Florida Memories Fair Isle Hat. It's hard to see, but it's flamingos. And the sample hat has green grass, blue sky with flamingo pattern and hearts. And but you can also knit it as a 2-color thing if you don't want to go full on Hawaii, full on Florida. If you don't want to go full on Florida flamingos, it is the cutest thing.
It is cute.
I really like it, and I want to thank Sock Bunny for sending it to us. I can see myself making this for my daughter or my niece. I love doing color work. It would look really pretty in a hand spun. Like I could do
gradient hand spun.
Yeah, right. I could do a gradient hand spun with a solid color for the color work. It would be really pretty.
It would be pretty.
So that was awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And as Sheila said, I went to Webb's tent sale this weekend to visit my friend Jess, who is the proprietor of Stitch by Jessalou. I did not buy anything from her. I didn't buy any more Notions pouches. I was going to, but by the time that, it was a long day. I was not operating on all pistons. I had a migraine. It was not a good day for me. So by the time I bought some for my friend Denise. She asked me to buy some for her. I'm going to send them to her. And by the time I went to do it at the end of the day, it was picked over. So I'm like, I'll see her at Mass Sheep and Wool, and I'll hit it up then.
She got her own booth, or she
has her own booth at Web's Tent Sale.
No, I meant at Mass Sheep and Wool.
Yes, she has her own booth at Mass Sheep and Wool.
Oh, all right.
And I think she did last year too, but we didn't see her because we didn't go last year. So I'm going to see her next weekend, and I'll hit her up there. But I did pop into Web's because I needed to pick up needles for Sheila, and I got this Schachenmeyer Regia 6-color rainbow sock yarn.
I like it.
Which I totally love. They claim it's going to knit up like that. And maybe it will.
I was going to say, why wouldn't it?
I don't know. Sometimes the picture doesn't look.
I think it will.
It says Farbund Effektbildung nicht verbindlich color sample.
Hey, no swear words.
Nicht means not or no. So I don't know if it's...
Well,
it might just be a representation.
Exactly,
yeah. When I'm looking at the number of threads in the color, I just don't see how it's going to be the same color stripe, the same amount of stripes for each color. See what I mean?
Yes.
So we'll see. It's a mystery. Maybe it will knit up exactly like it. Maybe it won't. But it's going to be pretty. I like rainbows. I got that. And then I realized when I gave Sheila her needles that I bought myself a set of number 4 Nova Platina points, because the number 4s that are in my set, one of them doesn't screw all the way on. I've used it a couple of times under duress, like when I had to, and there's like a gap.
Oh.
It's horrible. I've only done it when I've had to like hold something on a needle, whatever, but, ooh, excuse me. I bought another set of these at Web's.
You reminded me of something that I bought a size 5 Carbons interchangeables so that I could do my worsted weight socks. I don't know how they're going to work yet, but I bought it. The joints should be the same. I had no problem with the joints.
It might even be better because you can screw it down tighter.
So
the other thing that I bought for myself,
I thought the one you were doing was in the back of your calendar.
I have them in the back of my calendar, and I started coloring one in the back of my calendar. But I bought this book called Balance. It's Extreme Stress Mender Coloring, because last week I felt like I was under extreme stress for most of the week. And now I'm not under extreme stress, but I colored the first one.
Ready? Now, can I see, do you shade?
I do some shading.
Yeah, see, I'm a 2-dimensional person.
I do some shading. This one I haven't done any shading on. I started this one. Just have fun with it. I bought this on Amazon. It's by Angie Grace. I bought a set of 50 color pencils on Amazon for like $8. I love Amazon. I have Amazon Prime. They just come to my house. I used to love to color when I was younger. If I really was stressed out, it's nice. It's one of the things I like about my planner. I can sit and do stuff on that, but there's only a limited amount you can do. So this is kind of nice. I just do it when I feel really stressed out. I just disconnect a bit, sit down and color on it, and you kind of get lost, and it's very repetitive because it's a mandala, so I like it. I've enjoyed it, but it's hard to find the good books anymore. There's a craze. This lady came out with these books called The Secret Garden and The Enchanted Forest, coloring books for adults. And I ordered one, but it's back ordered for like 2 months.
Really?
I actually had one in my hands when I was at Web's this weekend, so I might stop there.
If we do, I was wondering if. Oh, you were at Web's or
no,
a different
in
store?
the town, but we can stop at Web's. I don't know if they'll be open.
I was just thinking somebody I know might like a pair of socks in those.
Oh,
right there.
Oh yeah, that's true. I was thinking if we have a time, I might pop into the store where I saw it, and if they still have a copy, I'll buy it, and I can cancel the one that I back ordered. It's a little bit more than it costs on Amazon to buy it in the store. That's why I didn't do it, but I have it now instead of... But it was fun.
8 weeks from now.
Yeah. So those are my baubles and bling.
Crutches and heartbreaks. I've been doing a lot of offsites lately, which I don't mind per se. It gets me out of the drama of just working with a bunch of people. I don't necessarily like the hours that she's been putting me on. It's been 8:30 to 5:30. I don't like those hours. Otherwise, if I did, I would have taken a job with those hours.
Right.
But I told her, and I told my boss, I said, I don't mind helping you out because we're shorthanded, we're in a hiring freeze, and now we're going to be coming up upon vacations.
Yeah, summer.
Yeah, one guy who's been off, I think he's back, so hopefully that won't be a big deal. The good thing about it is, depending on the offsite, I can knit in downtime where I can't do that.
Yeah.
At my my main place. But I think I've been working too much because I think I wore myself down. I don't know if it's allergies or I'm catching a cold. It could be both. It could be one or the other. The other day I kind of woke up with the chills and body aches, but it didn't go anywhere. I had no fever. But that could be allergies too. I don't know. This allergy season is such a...
It's a bad allergy season.
It's a bad allergy season.
I was telling Sheila earlier, I take the maximum over-the-counter dosage of allergy meds daily year-round because of my asthma. And I've had to double up with my doctor. My doctor told me how to do this. I've had to double up a few times because the pollen allergy, the tree pollen is so high.
It is. It's really
so
bad.
high.
My dad leaves for China next week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a heartbreak. I need to actually try and get together with him this weekend some point. Trying to think what else. Both my sons had concerts this week. One does band, he does the flute, and the other one does strings, which is like the violin, cello. He actually does the acoustic upright bass. And I have a video I'll show you afterwards of him and his class playing Thriller by Michael Jackson.
Cool. So
it was fun. I did some knitting there. And it's funny because I thought my husband would give me a hard time.
Yeah, but he didn't.
No, because actually, as a matter of fact, him and Zachary were fighting over the iPad.
I'm sorry, but I think the iPad is worse than knitting.
Yeah, but he didn't say a word, and nobody commented. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm pretty much knitting everywhere. Like, any of his friends know.
Yeah.
But, because I can do it without looking. And...
Right. That's why I think it's worse. It's better than the iPad because the iPad, you're looking at the iPad, so you're just listening. You're not even watching the stage. But when you knit, you can watch the stage and listen. You're still fully engaged.
There was no stage. We're at an auditorium.
Oh, well.
Shriners Auditorium.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. Which they hold circuses there, just to give you an idea.
Yeah.
Small circus. But we had a good time. But I had to go to 2 of them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Last year, the reason I went this year is because my son graduated from 8th grade or middle school up to high school, so they get to play with the high school band.
Yeah.
And last year, honestly, we didn't go. I picked him up and I dropped him off because, so the band one that we did, it was good. It was quick and to the point. They played, and it was 4 different schools, 4 different grades or whatever, and they all played. It was nice. The string one, it's different. There are different funding for each one. They introduce the seniors.
Yeah.
So that takes like a half an hour. Then they do scholarships and they do raffles. And it ends up being like almost a 2-hour event. And I kept looking. I wasn't feeling well. That didn't help.
Yeah.
And my son of a darn it husband came in. He came in afterwards because... he came from work. He scooted out with Zachary, like right as it ended. I'm like, you truck. So I got stuck in traffic. Well, then we're leaving, and I got a good parking spot because we got there early, and we're leaving, and my son's like, oh, I want to say goodbye to a friend. He made friends with a senior, so he doesn't know if he's going to see him again, obviously. Helping out, he made friends with a senior, and so he wanted to say goodbye to him, and I'm sitting there waiting, watching all the cars go by. I'm like, at this point, we might as well wait another 20 minutes. We're going to be stuck in traffic, but we had a good time. I'm glad that's over with. I'm working Monday. So much for my holiday. But I'm not working any other holidays this summer.
That's awesome.
I got my holiday over with. And I've already looked into, so the place I work does 6 major holidays. It's Memorial Day, July 4th, Labor Day. That's our summer holidays.
Right.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year. That's our winter holidays.
Yeah.
I've already picked, well, I haven't picked, but I know which holiday I want. I'm going to pick Christmas because I am working that weekend. I might as well, if I'm going to work that weekend, I might as well work Christmas.
Yeah.
Get it done and over with, and then I'll have the other holidays off.
That'll be nice.
Yeah, and then
Max. New Year's, we got to do our New Year's tradition.
Max goes, does that mean we'll have to wait until open presents? I'm like, yes, you will.
You're old enough where you can wait. Welcome to adulthood, kid.
I was talking to one of my other coworkers back in the chemistry. He was talking about how we were talking about holidays. He goes, oh, you already know what holiday you are? I said, no, we get to pick them. He goes, you get to pick yours? I said, well, we put our request in for which holiday we want.
Yeah.
As long as, it's not crazy. And he's like, yeah, I told my parents that if they wanted me over, they'd have to have me over at 5 because I got to be here at 7. And they said, yeah, no, that's okay. I'm like, yeah. Mine would be worse because I got to be there at 5.
Yeah, that's funny.
Hey, you want me over? I'll be there at 3.
Be ready.
Yeah, no kidding. Want to open gifts? Wake up at 3 with me.
We have an hour and then I got to go.
Yeah, no kidding. So that's pretty much my crushes and heartbreaks. It's been really good weather except for the pollen.
Yeah, it has been nice weather. It's been cool, dry, and sunny. Except for that one day. The
one thing we do need, believe it or not,
is rain.
We need rain. We are desperate for rain.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk?
Oh, New England. You never
know what you're going to get.
Never know what you're going to get. So, my crushes and heartbreaks. My crush was, I had a great weekend seeing Jess and Roger, her husband. We went out to our usual Thai dinner. I spent the usual day with my friend Diane. We walk all over Northampton. We shop in all the little stores. I walked like 12,000 steps that day. Unfortunately, I was feeling crappy the whole time, and I just sucked it up. So Sunday was a bad day. I just laid in the house all day. But the great news is, when I can use it, that migraine medication works well. So at least I don't have to worry about that anymore.
That's good.
So, yeah, because before, it's days of headache pain. Now that medication shuts it down in less than an hour.
Good.
It's awesome. But it knocks you out. And sometimes the migraine can come back after it wears off, and you need to take it again, and you can't really do that if you're driving to Western Mass. So, but it was a crush to spend time with my friends. So I was just sorry that you couldn't go.
Yeah, I needed, well, we're going this weekend. We're going to Mass Sheep and Wool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
So am I. We're going to meet up with some friends, and my husband, I don't know, I needed to spend some time with my boys.
Yeah, I think that's good.
No, I didn't work. No, I work next week.
I'm looking forward to that. My other crushes, I have hired a roofing contractor. I have sent him a deposit, and I am just waiting for him to tell me when it's going to be. It's going to be sometime in July. But I don't really care.
As long as you know it's going to happen.
I just know that I don't have to talk to any more roofing people, and that makes me happy. The other crush is that I have hired somebody to do the work inside my house. And even though it's more than the insurance company assessed it at, the insurance company assessor is working with him to come up with a legit amount. Apparently they do this. They make an estimate, And then if the contractor has a legit reason why the estimate is too low, they will raise the amount. But my contractor has to negotiate with the assessor. But so far, the insurance company, which is Commerce Insurance, has been very responsive. Like, they're backed up. I have never actually spoken to the woman who is my adjuster, but she has an assistant who has been excellent. She has taken care of every single step, any questions I have, and I'm hoping that sometime by fall I will have no more hole in my kitchen and new bathroom ceiling and walls and paint in all the rest of my rooms and no more water stains. So that'll be, I hope, worth the wait. My contractor thinks it's going to take 2 weeks for them to do all the work. It's 6 rooms. But some rooms only need small repairs. Right. The kitchen and the bathroom are bad. And once the bathroom's done, then I'm going to save some money up and I'm going to have them spray the tiles, enamel them white so that I have a brand new looking bathroom. So it'll have painted wall above the tile instead of the plastic hideous flowered stuff that's on there now. And it will have white tile and then the new floor and the tub is white. So it'll all be new looking. Good. That way, when we sell the house, people will not say, oh, a pink bathroom, that's going to be a $7,000 renovation. Right. They will say, oh, a brand new bathroom. Yeah. So that's a crush. My kids are doing well in school. That's a big crush.
School's going to be out soon. 1 month. I know. Just letting you know.
Yeah, and my husband and I are planning a trip, a vacation, a summer vacation. We don't know when it's going to be because we need to know when the contractor is coming. But we're going to take our kids to Washington, D.C. for a couple of days. The kids are going to pick which big thing they want to see the most. We're going to take the kids to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier where my father was a guard. Oh, yeah. And we'll probably hit a couple of the other big, like the White House thing. Or not all of them. We'll probably hit another thing where you can go and look at a memorial or a monument.
My son goes in 2 weeks.
To D.C.?
Yep. At the school.
Cool. And then after that trip, we're going to take the kids, we're going to give the kids to my parents. They're going to meet us. And then they'll be at my parents for a couple of weeks. And nice. That's when the cleaning and decluttering resumes. I want to hire a dumpster again.
Go for it. I'd like to do that too, but for me to do that, I'd have to keep my husband out of the house.
Yeah, I am tempted to hire a dumpster again. Although, who knows, maybe one of the 2 contractors that are coming will let me throw some crap in their dumpster since they are going to have dumpsters.
Yeah, but it's usually you pay by...
That's included. Oh, right. So I'm sure they own their own dumpster. The roofing people, obviously, they have to take my whole roof off. Right. I'm excited to get my roof done.
I don't blame you.
Especially since I'm getting that rubberized stuff. Hopefully we won't have another leak situation. That was terrible. So that's it for my crutches and heartbreaks. I've been stressed out over all the contractor stuff, but that kind of got resolved by it's almost all resolved. Right. The beginning of the week, I just felt like crying. I was so stressed out, but it's much better now. So, gossip and innuendo. First of all, Mass Sheep and Wool. We're going this weekend on Sunday.
We're going on Sunday. I'm sorry.
It's the less busy day, and it was a day that 2 of our friends, Tara and Suzanne, can meet up with us, which is awesome because we don't get to see them very often. Although, Tara... we could see each other more often. Although she's been working so much lately.
I know, the poor thing.
But it'll be nice to see Suzanne because normally we only see her at Rhinebeck. Right. So this will be fun. And we're going to hang out with Jess for a bit and see her booth. And it's going to be awesome. So there's that. And that's almost, we're nearing the end of the spring festival thing. I thought only one more is Fiber Frolic, and it's the first weekend in June. I'm tempted to go because I could meet up with Lois there. So there's
Where
that.
is the fiber frolic?
In Maine somewhere.
Oh.
But on the other side of it, it's the same weekend as my daughter's ballet recital.
Oh.
And there's a lot going on that weekend, so I'm not 100% sure I want to make a long drive and then the next day have recital stuff all day.
Yeah.
It's the reason that I didn't go last year. It coincided. So, I don't know. I'm up on... See, on the one hand, I really want to see Lois, but I know I'm going to see Lois this summer. So, it's kind of like... So, and then after that, there's not much until Fiber Revival in Newport. Fiber Revival is run by the Northeast Hand Spinners Guild, or members of it. I'm not sure if it's an official Northeast Hand Spinner event. I think it is. They have it at a farm in Newport. I will link in the show notes. Well, the show notes already have a link to the event page, so you can check it out where it is in Newport, Mass. And it's an antique farm, but it still has, like, I think it's still a working farm. They'll have animals there. They do unrelated to our event, they do a retro baseball game with people wearing like the 1920s baseball uniforms. That's kind of fun to look at. The kids like looking at the animals. They'll have a lot of really cool vendors. They're going to have Spunky Eclectic, Stitched by Jessalou, Enchanted Knoll Farm is going to be there. What's the name of those? Hitchhiker Spinning Wheels is going to be there. Probably Jewelry by Leslie Wind. Usually the Yarn and Fiber Company from Derry has a booth there. I'm probably leaving somebody out. Mad Color Fiber Arts will be there. So they have booths. They have a beer truck that comes. They have food that you can get. And then they have some demos. Like one year Lily did a weaving demo, and then Leslie Wind usually has some jewelry making demos where you can get involved banging like metal, and it's kind of fun. And but the big news is that this event this year has hired Abby Francamont to come out and teach 2 classes on the day. The morning class is learning how to spin really fine, and you can bring the equipment of your choice. So you could either bring a spinning wheel or a spindle. And that class, I believe, is like $95. I'm not 100%. It's close to $100. I'm going to link to Abby Francamont's site where you can sign up for it, and that tells all the details of it. And in the afternoon, there is going to be a spindle class where you can learn to spin long draw with a spindle. And again, you bring your own spindle for the class, and you bring your own wheel or a spindle for the other class. So you do have to be able to bring your equipment.
Right.
But the spindling class is $65. That one I'm sure about. That's the less expensive of the 2. So one of them will be a couple of hours in the morning, and one of them will be a couple of hours in the afternoon. And if you go to the Abby Francamont's website, I'm going to link to it. There's a page where you can sign up. You need to sign up in advance if you want to do one of these events, because they are going to go like hotcakes. People get excited to learn with her. I took a class with her 2 or 3 years ago now. She's an excellent teacher. I learned so much from her, and it was a lot of fun. So I can highly recommend her classes, and it helps. She doesn't travel a lot to do courses. It helps that she's friendly with the lady that's organizing the event. They're close friends. So what I do, I like to go to the event. I get there in the morning. I set up my spinning wheel, my travel wheel, and I hang out with my friends and spin and talk all day. And I have a great time. And it can only be made better if there's an awesome class to take.
Right.
This is the first time they're doing anything like this where there's an official class. So check into it, but space is limited. So check into it sooner rather than later. And even if you can't go to the class, definitely come to the event, because it's a small event, but it's a lot of fun. It's very relaxed, and people just hang out in the shade because it can be kind of warm, and have a lot of fun.
Sounds good.
So that's it for gossip and innuendo.
No.
No, there's more?
We haven't.
Oh, we have a prize. Good thing you're here, Sheila.
So we are picking for the person to get Knitter's Edge magazine from Cooperative Press.
Yep. Issue number 7.
Issue number 7, and the winner is number 46, Swag Co., Sylvia. So, Sylvia, we're going to let Cooperative Press know.
Yep, I will let them know, and you will receive a PDF copy of Knit Edge number 7 from Cooperative Press. And thank you to Cooperative Press for letting us do the review and contest, because we really enjoy that.
We do.
And she said, Sylvia, the winner, said she really likes the woodworker's mitts. So, Sylvia, I hope you enjoy knitting those from your brand new copy. So, I totally forgot about the contest. I'm old. What can I say?
It's Friday. I'm exhausted.
It's Friday. I'm old. You're exhausted. It's just not going well.
And on that note, thanks for watching, everybody. We really do appreciate it.
We really do appreciate it.
We'll be back next week, I believe, unless something...
I think so. There's nothing happening. What's happening next week?
Nothing. I'm working Wednesday till 5. Can we do Thursday during the day?
We could do Thursday. I could come to your house.
Great. That would be good. So we'll probably see you next Thursday, guys.
Yep. I couldn't do it on Wednesday either
Knit
because
with
it's
Heart.
a play date. Bye.
Bye.